message that I haven't replied to, and it's from someone called Tom.
Yeah.
Because he's a removal company around the Neaton and Bedworth and Coventry, and he's messaged us before, and I'm sure he does it to get prices and quotes and stuff.
Learner driver. We were all there one day.
Yeah, we were, but...
Although I wasn't, I have actually never had a lesson in my life. We have not been having much luck. This is our camera, and it's an awesome piece of kit. It's a Insta360 1-inch R. It's got a 1-inch lens. And the cool thing about this, as opposed to a GoPro, is that it comes apart, and you can actually change the lenses. So when we were at the beach and we did that whole Tiny Planet thing where we looped everything around, we had the 360 lens, which has a lens on the front and then another one on the back, and they're both fisheye. And it gives you like all these things that you can do where you can film in one go and then swivel in the edit around the whole 360 degrees, or you can shrink the world into this tiny ball. And also with the, I need to look into this lens, with the what is it called, the selfie stick, it goes invisible. It actually deletes it from your hand, which is really cool. But this is playing us up at the moment, and we did a whole load of stuff yesterday and it only saved the one segment of video, which is what you've seen this morning. And I'm not sure what's up with it because I'm not that technically minded. But we have used the external mic, and we're using this on the phone now, and hopefully the sound quality will be a bit better. What are you eating there, Darian? Oh, always the wrong time, isn't it?
Always. It's called a fully loaded brookie.
A brookie? Is it delicious?
It is really good. Really,
is it
really
as
good.
delicious as my dinner last night?
It's like a brownie, but it's got like cookie dough texture on the top and a brownie on the bottom with like chocolate. Really good.
We have just been to the gym, so she has earned it. We burn a lot of calories doing
I
this.
did eat some chicken.
Yeah, she did have some chicken first. Right, 1, 2, 3, let's roll with the wicked. I'm gonna... And I got a super strawberry, I don't know if you can see that, super strawberry mini loaf from Sainsbury's, just over there. So we did a whole video this morning as well, and guess what, it didn't save. Oh, this looks good.
That does look pretty good actually. I can't believe he's just made her park there. She didn't even pull all the way back into the space. She was still hanging out, and she's just drove up. She didn't even park in there properly.
Learner driver. We were all there one day.
Yeah, we were, but...
Although I wasn't, I have actually never had a lesson in my life.
I had 7.
You had 7?
And passed my test.
I'm going to have some more of that in a bit.
And passed my test with 2 minors.
You are a good driver though. So, how did I get into driving? How did I pass my test with no lessons? I started driving when I was 12. I lived in a rural town. I mean, it was a big town for a rural town. Levin. I lived in Levin. It's excuse me, something between my teeth.
I know, I've got cookie in my teeth.
It's got a bit of a reputation in New Zealand of being full of dodgy people.
Only since you lived there.
Yeah, their reputation's gone since I left. No, and it's quite rightly earned, really. We were a big small town that had a bit of a chip on its shoulder because we were not quite city size, but I don't know, it's a strange place, bottom of the bottom of the North Island, the west coast, an hour north of Wellington. Really good place to grow up. Beach 15 minutes drive one way, mountain range and rivers 15 minutes drive the other way, rainforest and bush, and it's cool as a kid. But nonetheless, my mother was at that point a psychologist and dealt with an awful large amount of sexual abuse cases, and therefore she had a really good working relationship with the police. I think statute of limitations may allow for this to go out and nobody to get into trouble. She passed away anyway, so she's not going to get into trouble.
Just name no names.
I won't name any names. But she used to drink at the police bar, and she knew all the cops in town. Went to their houses for house parties, and so one weekend she went away for a weekend. I was 12. I was able to look after myself. Very independent. Different world, different time. She left the car in the garage, and the car keys attached to the house keys, which I had. Me and a friend decided it would be a good idea to go for a little spin. It's a 1984 Honda Prelude, automatic. And yeah, that night we went out. My friend Wayne Trask hanging out the sunroof with a high-powered spotlight down a country lane in pitch black with our lights off, doing about 100 miles an hour. I don't know how we're still alive. We got into some trouble, me and that kid. He was New Zealand. If you've ever seen the movie Chopper, about the Australian criminal gangster Chopper Reed, my friend Wayne Trask, shout out Trask if you're watching this, was New Zealand's version of Chopper as a teenager. And we got up to some real shit. Nothing really bad, but always with a smile on our face. It was always done in humour. So, yep, tore around that night, covered the car in grass and mud, and yeah, learned how to drive. It was an automatic, so a bit easier. And then started borrowing it when Mum wasn't looking. Had the spare key, and a bit naughty, I know. I was a bit naughty, and it's how I ended up in the UK, but I did hold my hands up to it, and borrowed it every now and again, and returned it. And then by the time I was 13, she'd figured it out, obviously, what I was up to, and I was picking her up from the police station when she was sort of having a drink at the bar on the weekends, or going around to coppers' houses when they were having a house party, and picking them up with the car covered in mud and grass from tearing around at the local reserve. Different world, different time. The cops pulled me over sometimes just to have a chat and ask how my mum was. The problem was she took me to lectures as she was going through university, so I learned psychology subconsciously, and whenever she tried to use psychology against me as a teenager, I just turned it around quite quickly. Small towns, you get bored, so you go out and you drive around. Yeah, got away with blue murder, I did. Absolutely, just I don't know how. I don't
really have an exciting life. It's pretty boring.
You had an exciting upbringing. Darian was raised often on farms, and she hung out with pigs, chickens, and sheep. You know, we were watching Clarkson's farm last night, and he was lambing, and she was like, "This is what me and my dad used to do." And that's really interesting. I mean, if I really think about it, it didn't seem like at the time that I had an interesting.
No.
But
I suppose it's just because it's normal to you, isn't it? So it doesn't seem.
yeah.
But then at Mum's, I grew up with the horses, and
Exactly. And there's so
that's
many.
pretty normal to me.
There's so many kids that would love to grow up with horses that don't get that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many kids that would love to drive around in cars at the age of 15 and not get in trouble for it.
I learned to drive tractors and stuff on Grandad Priest's Matty Ferguson. And,
Yeah, so now that's cool.
you know, me and my brother were driving them from when we were tiny. We'd sit on Grandad's lap, and he'd let us steer. He'd like do obviously the gear and the speed and stuff, and we'd steer. And then as we got older, he'd put the muck trailer on the back, and Lewis would drive around the field, and I'd be sitting in the muck truck, and we'd get it. Grandad wouldn't let us no faster than 15 mile an hour. Get round to the back of the pond where all the trees, and he couldn't see us, and we'd pull it up full speed. It'd only go like 20 mile an hour anyway, but we'd go full speed, get to the end of the trees, and slow right down again. And just mess around in the field on the tractor. And
so now that's an awesome.
Grandad would be off at the top of the field doing whatever he was doing, and
there you go. So you have had an interesting upbringing.
yeah.
Just had to figure it out. Remember it.
Ooh. Yeah, I
Yeah.
Because he's a removal company around the Neaton and Bedworth and Coventry, and he's messaged us before, and I'm sure he does it to get prices and quotes and stuff.
So Darian's just been answering some messages on the Facebook page, and as you've heard, she's had one from a chap called Tom. And Tom's messaged us before, looking for a price on some rubbish to be removed, and we've given him a price, and his answer was, that's too much, I've found somebody cheaper. Fair enough, happens. And we've just had another message with what looks like quite a large job. No, just photos. No, hi, how you doing? Can you give me a price for this, please? Blah, blah, blah. No? Quick look on his profile. Shows that it is actually the same one that we've been thinking about. His name gets mentioned a little bit in some of the Facebook groups. Yeah, didn't even try and butter us up for a quote, just photos, expecting us to give him a price. Quite clearly, he does rubbish removals. It is the same guy. So he's fishing for prices. He's trying to see what we would charge. Okay, companies do that. Man, try and buy us dinner first.
Just talk to us.
Yeah.
We're not unapproachable.
So tell us who you are. Build a friendship.
We've helped plenty of companies in the past.
Look at Jason. We actually give him work. There's no secrets. There's no competition. There's enough work for everybody. But get along with us. You know, we in America, all the junk removal companies speak to each other. The only ones that don't get spoke to are the arsehole ones, who don't listen and do things the wrong way.
And a sneaky.
Why sneak about? So I've just sent him a message calling him out. And like I do, I call people out. I'm not afraid to. Basically said, I see you do rubbish removals as well. You know, I've seen your name mentioned in the local Facebook pages. Why don't you just befriend us instead of pretending to be a potential customer? It's stupid. Why sneak about? And then I sent him a screenshot of his advert on his profile where he's got his back of his van full of rubbish, advertising rubbish removals. I don't get it. We're probably the most approachable junk removal company in the country, and now he's not really going to have the opportunity to approach us. Look, if you do rubbish removals and you want a bit of advice, you want to know what we would charge for something, message us and ask.
The thing is, we want to see people succeed. We don't want to see people go down. In the end, if people are trying to make an honest living, who are we to shut that down and go, you can't do that, because we do. Everybody has rubbish. Every single household has rubbish. Whether they use a rubbish removal company, a skip company, they're general black bin. They have rubbish. How many people are in the country?
It's an industry that's never going to die. It's always people are always going to have rubbish, and we don't want all the work. I don't want it all, Tom. I don't want all the work. I'm not. There's no competition. I'm not in competition with you, mate. Approach me like a fellow business owner, and we can talk.
Like Jason did.
Like Jason did, yeah. Jason reached out. I don't know it all. I can't give everybody the right advice all the time. I don't know it all. But I've learned from a lot of mistakes, and I'm quite happy to help anybody out. Don't try and play me as a fool, man, because I'm no fool. Far from it.
Jeez, we're not horrible people.
No, not at all. So yeah, just a little bit of a rant. Just pops my head, you know. Reach out. Speak to us. The American companies, like I say, they all help each other out. There's that many Facebook groups full of all, and you know, there's, you can tell the top guys and the top girls. Ashley, hey Ashley, we do. Ashley's in Florida, Orlando, and she's a woman who's set up by herself. She had a pickup truck. She went out there and she built it up from the ground, and now she's got 2 pickup trucks. She's got sign writing all over her truck. She's got an employee, and she's out there killing it. And she does jobs single-handedly. And she reached out.
Hot tub, didn't she, by herself?
Yeah, and American hot tub too. Not one of our pansy little things.
I wouldn't have been able to have done it. I'd take my hat off to Ashley.
Oh God, yeah.
I
really
Yeah,
do. She is just incredible.
Do you know what? She reached out to us at the start of everything, and I was like, do you know what? I want to help you. Whatever you want to know, any of my little secrets, I'm quite happy to share them with you, because I can. Do you know what? You get that energy about somebody, and I could see she was somebody that wanted to do the right thing, to just go out and do it, and she's proved that right. She's kind of smashed it, and now she's like so popular amongst all the big guys out there, the big companies.
She is just incredible.
She is incredible. What does it say on the back of her truck? Once Darian's finished scoffing, we'll get it back. Yeah, Ashley, man, you're killing it. You're doing it right. And she's always said, "Oh, I look up to you guys. We look up to you now."
So it says, back off. I don't want you to be the junk in my trunk.
Ace. It's fantastic. Yeah, so anybody out there with a junk removal company, you know, you see us on Facebook. Obviously we're big on Facebook. Trying to explode onto the YouTube scene now. I think we'll have a bit of success over time with that, if I'm honest. Befriend us. Talk to us. Ask us questions. You know, don't bombard me with every inquiry you get though, of like how much to move this, how much. You got to have some common sense. I don't mind showing you some ropes, but you got to go out on a limb and do it yourself for a
And do you
bit.
know what? If you've got to ask for help for quotes to figure out what you're going to be pricing your jobs,
I know where you're going with this. I'm going to agree.
it's not great, is it? Really?
No.
You know,
You should have that sort of worked out
you should
before.
have a base level of where you are. Who cares what anyone else charges?
We don't.
We don't care what anyone else charges. We charge what we need to charge. We don't care. We're not going to go and message every Tom, Dick and Harry to see what people are charging, because do you know what? Quite frankly, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if we're more expensive or if we're not as expensive, because do you know what? We're not them. We are junk monkeys.
Yeah. We price our value on us.
Yeah. You know, if we've got to base our quotes off somebody else, of somebody else's business, then we might as well be that business.
Yeah. I mean, there's a basic structure to the way that we price things, and it is a fairly universal aspect in the world of junk removal and skips. Skips
Well, that's
are
a breeze.
skips are priced by cubic yards, so you get them, and I think they go up every 2 cubic yards, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we use cubic yards. The bigger junk removal companies, the nationwide ones, they use cubic yards. So we use that as a measurement guide for the volume. But quite often there's a lot more aspects that come into it, where the junk is, the access to the junk. Is the junk at the end of a driveway where we can pull up and throw it on in 5 minutes? Is it down some entryways down the back of a walk 30 houses away that's going to take us an hour and a half to load the same amount of junk because of all the walking back and forth? You know, that's going to cost extra. So quite often it is a bit more of what we want for the job. Go on.
If I had an answer that simply says, yes, but fully booked, always am.
Oh, Tom, I'm glad for you, mate. I am happy, genuinely happy. You're fully booked and always are. That message was just photos, mate. You didn't send it with anything saying, would you like this job? So yeah, I don't really know what you. I don't know your angle, my friend. But if you're fully booked and always are, then you're not going to need any advice from us. And I'm happy for you, mate. Genuinely happy for you. I wish you all the success in the world. How bizarre. We'll leave you guys to ponder that one. Always eating.
Oh, that cheese has got a bit funny now.
A bit sweaty. So how's your day been, Darian?
Oh no. Apart from the shoulder.
Yeah.
It really hurts. I don't know if I told
tell it's sore because you're like, you know. We're going to go back to the gym while we can. Well, we've decided we're not going to the gym now. We're a bit naked, aren't we? We're a bit stinky. And Darian's shoulder's hurting. And do you know what? I just want a nice cup of tea.
Yeah, I haven't had one yet today. Again.
So, on that note, we are going to say goodbye and we'll see you tomorrow. Well, I will. I don't know about Darian. Will you? She might send some stuff over. Who knows? So we will speak to you soon. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It all really helps. Don't just watch it and go, oh yeah, that was good. Actually like it and subscribe, and then that way we pop up in your newsfeed on YouTube, whatever that's called, or feed. I don't know, but we pop up on it. So yeah, like and subscribe, please. Awesome. We love you. Adios.